Hey everybody, thank you so much for tuning in to the Jersey Comic Crew. Today we are talking about the passing of Chadwick Boseman. Rob and I both have some interesting stories to tell, so definitely take a look at this video and we'll see you inside.
Hey guys, you're watching the Jersey Comic Crew. We bring you the news and reviews in your favorite comics, movies, and TV shows. As always, I'm Rob Moran, and with me is my co-host Chris Heller.
What's up, guys? Today is a little somber in the beginning of this episode. We are talking about Chadwick Boseman. We are trying to tribute one of the best black actors we've had in Hollywood for the past couple of years as
Yeah,
best as we can, as two guys who just love his work and adore the man, who have never met him.
professionally and outside of work, because he's from all the stories I hear, he's a sweetheart.
Yeah, so it's a really sad kind of random thing in a year that honestly didn't need any more of that.
Yeah, I agree with you
Um,
there.
it seems like all of our heroes and people we look up to are going down, and everyone who hates us are in power and rising up. But as far as this is concerned, it was quite random. A lot of us, including myself, and I'm sure Rob, didn't know that he even had colon cancer since 2016.
Which, real quick, fuck
Yeah,
cancer. I have to say it.
fuck it all the way.
I didn't know that he had colon cancer, but
Neither did I.
I kind of wanted to start this conversation. It kind of feels like these big tragic events. You kind of have these stories of how you first heard,
Mm-hmm.
and if they're like somewhat decent story, you share them with other people. So I wanted to share my story with you guys. So I was playing video games. I was streaming on Twitch.
You
Um,
playing video games?
yeah,
Really?
surprising, right? I was playing a scary game, so I was already in a heightened emotional state.
Oh, so you're already wearing three pairs of pants?
Yeah, I went through one of them already. I'm playing a game. I turn and see my fiance. Her jaw dropped to the floor, and I
Yeah.
was like, okay, she's not watching me now because nothing big just happened. I didn't get scared or anything. I didn't cry. So like, what just happened? She comes over to me on the side while I'm streaming, hands me the phone, and I'm looking at him like I'm streaming, and she's like, you you need to see this. Here you go. And I grab it. I pause my game, and it was the news that Chadwick Boseman died.
Mm-hmm.
I immediately thought it was a joke. I immediately thought it was mean. Everybody in my chat saying, "What's going on? Why are you freaking out? Why do you look super pale more than usual?" And I said, "Well, Chadwick Boseman, the Black Panther actor, has just passed away." I literally shut down, stopped my video game, pulled up Google, did like was searching everywhere to see if
You
this
got
was
it.
a
You got
joke.
to Google it to make sure it's
Yeah,
true,
like,
man.
and she's like,
Yeah.
no, like she showed me a reputable source. I forget who it was at the moment, but then I'm seeing all this other stuff, and like it was true, and I was just stunned. I told the streamer, listen, I was like, you know what? I think now's a good point to end it. I don't feel in a good headspace to play the game anymore. I mean, it was also an excuse to stop playing scary games, right? So there was that, and I immediately just sat
the
down,
the truth will out of Rob's real personality.
right? And then I immediately sat down, and I was like, wow. And then I talked with Heather for a little bit about it, and then first thing we did, we put on one of his movies to kind of like honor the man.
Yeah.
And it's just like it's a shame that like such a young actor, such full of life that he's going through this, and like I feel like his career was just booming. Aside from Marvel, like he was in all these other movies, 21 Bridges. He's a good actor. He was a good
Yeah.
actor.
Yeah.
And I personally, I don't want to spend this video honoring this man talking about what's gonna happen in Marvel, who is gonna replace him.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We're not going to do that.
I think this is the point where we're just gonna honor the man, tell our stories about him, and
Hmm.
then pay a little tribute. And I'm sure many months down the road or whenever things are back to normal, we could pick up that conversation again. But I don't think today's the time.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
now, Chris, I know we were talking before the recording, and you have a little story of how you heard, and then something spooky, which I want to
Yeah.
hear.
Yeah. So, you know, uh, for anyone who follows us, one, thank you.
Yes,
And
appreciate it.
two, with kind of Rob, it's a skeleton crew for us. It's just me and Rob. So whoever you see recording right now is the people behind the scenes as well.
Mm-hmm.
And in tail with that, that means Rob's done a lot of the editing, so all the pretty stuff you see right now with all the colors and all the pictures and stuff that's collab between me and Rob. I'm
Mm-hmm.
doing the social media and sending him the banners you see in the bottom of the pictures, and Rob's putting it all together in the editing booth. Um, so I've been doing a lot of the social media stuff, and So I'm kind of checking all the time to see if there's new news or updates or stuff I missed. And I saw it from his page, and his page doesn't post a lot.
Yeah.
And we obviously follow him like we follow everyone in Marvel. Um, and I saw it, and I was like, no, like, there's no way this is real. I immediately was like, oh, it's hacked, because like,
Oh wow.
there's
Yeah.
been so many celebrity hackings lately. And I'm sitting across from my girlfriend, and she's like, well, what? What is it? And I'm like, not even gonna say it out loud because there's no way this is true.
Hmm.
So I went Google search it, and Entertainment Tonight, Vanity Fair, New York Post, New York Times, everything's up, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
is true. Which the next part is kind of, I think, more of my age showing, my old man stuff. That's not a post I was happy to make.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I
you
get
know,
that.
to me on Instagram, sometimes certain things feel dirty, where
Oh.
or
Okay.
clickbaity, where you're putting up a post of someone who just passed
It's
away,
kind of
and
morbid. I see. I know what you
it's
mean.
very morbid, and it's not something that I'm used to yet, where I know that social media is an information highway, right? Like everyone's posting the same thing because they're in shock. This is how they're grieving. I'm just before that time of social media where I do it a different way.
Yeah. I get that.
So it wasn't really a post I was excited to do. It was also something I felt dirty doing, and but I did it. It's part of our channel.
It's
It's
part of the
right.
news,
It's
right?
part of the news.
Some people might not have known unless they saw that image. So like you
Yeah,
have to spread it. I get it.
exactly. So it was awful. It was really weird to do that. Um, Especially when it feels like you're also competing with other areas of like who's gonna say it first, and it just never felt right. So I kind of like I took a shower afterwards because I just felt dirty.
Oh wow.
Uh,
Yeah.
and then I started thinking about it and started thinking about the legacy stuff and the movies and the stuff he did in this time where it became a mix of just sadness, mourning, but also admiration and kind of like awe,
Correct. Like
right?
the amount
Because
of young black people, like young children who look up to him as their superhero, and like now who has that icon ripped away. Like I feel for all of them. Like that's something
yeah,
like I'm lucky enough to be blessed because like I have so many superheroes, right? I could literally pick any one and like that could be me and who I look up to. And for T'Challa, for Black Panther, for Chadwick Boseman, he was that sole character for so many people.
yeah,
Like some people you could argue Miles Morales, but like it's not the same when you have him in the Avengers.
yeah,
And like I've seen some snippets on news, on TV, and on social media, these children crying because their superhero died,
yeah.
and it breaks my heart, and it's something I know I will never truly understand, and I'm sure Chris that you understand more so because you are mixed race. Like I'm sure you understand how this feels, and like I wanted to talk to you about that and
Yeah.
how that might have affected you.
No, absolutely. I think well, for me as a kid, my black superhero was Jon Stewart because
Mm-hmm.
he was on the
The
animated
Justice League,
Justice League
yeah,
show,
yeah.
right? So like that was my first connection to an African American superhero. And as I got older and started getting into more different comics and Marvel especially, um, the Black Panther was insanely powerful. And Chris Priest run in the '90s with those
Mm-hmm.
like Alex Ross covers. Um,
Beautiful.
he got to marry Storm in the X-Men. I'm like, this guy married an X-Men? Like he married
Yeah,
Storm?
this
Like
guy.
this is the greatest guy of all time.
Forget everything
You
else.
lucky
That guy
bastard.
bagged Storm,
You
a
like
literal
Storm?
god of the storms, like
Like
control the weather. Like, all right,
and like one of the best again, and Storm in the X-Men TV show was my other gateway
yeah,
of massively powerful black superheroes. Um, so yeah, I'm someone who went back and I actually collected. I have the first Black Panther comic. I have the second Black Panther comic. I have the Avengers Origin of T'Challa and Wakanda comic.
yeah.
That means a lot to me, and I think me as a mixed race person, right? I'm in a unique position where I can kind of see both sides of it.
Okay,
And I think the most unique part was when I realized, wow, Black Panther means something to everyone when you see in Halloween the white kids dressing up as Black
yeah, that is cool.
more so than just the black kids emanating Black Panther, which makes sense with children and dolls. You
Of
get to
course,
look like
yeah.
them and stuff like that. But when you see like little white kids dressing up as Black Panther for Halloween, that's when it means something.
Exactly.
Um, so, but yeah, but besides even that and the racial stuff that the character will live on. Obviously, Bozeman will live on. Obviously, like the amount of work he did in that condition is more than I could do in my entire life. All right, like that's unreal. Like stage 3 colon cancer to stage 4. He did Infinity War, he did Endgame, he did his own movie probably just kind of finding out about it or right before.
Yeah, I think that movie came out in 2018, so he's probably
Yeah,
just like in the early stages of when it was filming when it
yeah,
happened, and like he's a trooper. Like the amount of acting and like courage it took him to continue doing, like if it was me, like do I think I would continue doing my work if I found out I had this? Probably not. I don't think I would be able to put myself out there the way he did. And
yeah.
I think
It
this
shows you the true strength of him.
it does. And I think we want to hear your thoughts. Everybody watching at home or wherever you are watching, what did Black Panther mean to you? What did Chadwick Boseman as an actor mean to you? And if you have a unique and interesting story of how you heard the news, share us. Let us know down in the comments below. This is a time. It is yes to mourn, but it's time to celebrate an amazing actor and an amazing person that impacted change in our world.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you wanted to say, Chris?
Yeah, and really quick before we go, the eerie part of this
Yeah.
is we all know he played Jackie Robinson in the biopic movie 42. That's kind of how he got his kind of big break into mainstream
Mm-hmm.
movie making. Um, and he passed away on Saturday at the age of 43, even
Oh
though
wow,
I believe I don't know. It's
that's a
still
little
some people are
spooky.
saying he was born in 77, some were saying in 76, but he passed away either at the age of 42 or 43.
Okay.
But also the same day that Major League Baseball honors Jackie Robinson.
Oh
Um,
wow.
in Major League Baseball that day, the number 42 is retired on every team to
Okay.
honor Jackie Robinson.
Wow.
And if you don't know baseball, when it's Jackie Robinson Day, every player on every team wears 42.
Mm-hmm.
So that day he passed away on Jackie Robinson Day when everyone's wearing the number 42.
Wow. Oh my
And
goodness. That
yeah,
is a little freaky.
a
That's
little eerie.
that's a little spooky. I'm
Yeah.
glad. All right. I don't know what to say other than that.
Rob's not afraid.
I think between the sadness and spookiness, I think I'm done.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in for this tribute to Chadwick Boseman. Again, like I said before, we want to hear your story of him. If you've ever met him or what he meant to you, let us know down below and share your thoughts. As always, I'm Rob Moran,
And I'm Chris Heller.
and we'll see you next time.
Wakanda forever.